My God, I absolutely needed this win today. 3.5 hour win today. Felt so good. Felt so refreshing. Felt so relieving to catch a trade with my A plus setup, with trading, with discipline, with trading in the best ways. But let's get right into it. The biggest mistake I made during this, of course, I was degen gambling. I was taking trades left and right with no discipline, with no self control. But the biggest mistake I made while I lost this 1.15 mil in funding is not trading from higher key levels, from higher time frame POIs, from higher time frame key levels, right? So I wasn't gambling. I was just taking uh, low probability trades. I was just trying to trade off a 1 hour candle, or even a 15-minute candle. But this week I went back, I reset and went back to the fundamentals. I did my weekly preparation and I identified the weekly fair value gaps or the weekly areas, key levels that I wanted to trade from, and I waited there. So now I'm going back to there's only two time frames that I trade out of. Either it's a weekly or a daily key level. If those two are not hit, I am not doing anything. I have proven to myself now that I can trade, I can win, I am a good trader, I'm a profitable trader. So now it's about sticking to to my discipline. That's the biggest hurdle now. But um, this trade today was on EU. For the week, like I said, I identified this weekly fair value gap here. And last week it tapped into it, and then we closed back inside the previous weekly candle. Okay, so now this becomes a CRT, and now we closed inside the weekly candle, and now I'm expecting an expansion down, bearish, right? So that's why I marked this line here. I said look for sells above this weekly close here. Anytime above this, I'm looking for sells. And in general, for the whole week, I'm going to be bearish here. So if I have opportunities, I will sell throughout this week. So that's what framed my trade for today, okay? So let's clear this up. So last week, again, we tapped into the weekly fair value gap. So now I'm looking for sells. So if I scroll down here, how do I scroll down? One sec. Okay, so this is my trade. Now you can see in that I don't have the daily chart here, but you have to trust me when I say I mark this as a daily order block. So this is the candle on the daily that went and tapped into that weekly fair value gap, right? So now this is my daily order block, right? So I'm expecting price to come back in here because we closed below that order block on the 4 hour. So now I'm expecting price to come back in here and go down, right? So now this is where I frame my trade, right? So now we're inside this order block. Again, I'm looking for shorts, right? So the very first thing I saw is I went into the 15-minute. So this was so now I have my first thing is my higher time frame key level, right? That's step number one. Step number two is a CRT, which we found on the weekly that I showed you above. And now the third step is to find a lower time frame CRT inside a higher time frame CRT, right? So I came to the 15 minutes. I like to find it on the 15 and the 1 hour. I never go lower than that because I like it to be a higher time frame enough to have a confirmation. So you can see here, this was the CRT. We grab liquidity and then we close back again. So I market ordered here and risk to 3.5R. I risk to the lows here, which makes sense, right? But if you look at the 1 hour, same. We have a CRT here for the 1 hour. We grab liquidity and then we close back inside. 5 minute, same thing, CRT. So once this candle closed here, I just entered for 3.5R. You can see the balance in my account is 49,700. I was about 1,300 down in drawdown, so I'm happy I brought it back to kind of baseline now. Brought it back from the dead. So yeah, this is what's gonna happen, guys. I hope you learned something from this. Is that, at least for me, the lesson for me is that I will only trade from higher time frame key levels from now, weekly or daily. If it doesn't touch my weekly or my daily key level, my fair value gap, or it's below or above a swing high on the daily or the weekly, I'm doing nothing. I'm not going anywhere, okay? And yeah, man, I've proven to myself that I am a profitable trader. So now it's about, listen, my discipline was really good, but I just let myself go. I became complacent, right? I let complacency sneak into my psychology, and now we're locking this down, man. We're locking this down, and I'll catch you in the next one.